That's good. So, hello everybody. This is the Perchy here from the Perchy TV. How are we doing? We've got Mia's jumped in last minute. How are you doing, Mia?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Enjoying the sunshine over here.
Oh, it's a bit overcasty for me today. Gosh, you'd think living in Spain you'd have all the weather, but no, it's just a little bit overcast today. I thought I'd start something new. So I thought I'd start and do a sort of a daily kind of show in at 12 o'clock on my lunch break, and we'll just talk about what is going on in the world of Tottenham, in the world of football. What have you seen, Mia? I'm gonna let you. What have you seen, Mia, at the moment that has made you stand out about Tottenham?
Probably, I know it's a bit of an ongoing thing, but obviously we were discussing it in the group chat about this whole Harry Kane thing. Will he go?
Yeah,
Won't he go? And obviously now with Mbappe not signing that contract, I think that's just made things get very interesting when it comes
agreed.
down to it. Like it's just made things a whole lot more interesting to see where he goes. Madrid bound, possibly. That could be something that does happen. So yeah. That the thing is, a lot of the time with what happens if with transfers, it has like a knock-on effect. So
Of course, yeah.
this could obviously have that knock-on effect. But I'm still of the opinion that if he doesn't want to sign for a year, if he doesn't want to sign, don't keep him for the year, sell him. But obviously, there's a lot of people have opposing view to that one.
Of course, and I think this is the point that in the big massive group chat that was there, and I mean, there's like 1,000,001 YouTubers in there, and it was just debate after debate all morning. It was quite. I missed half of it. I was like, what? I'm trying to do stuff, but the one thing I heard about with the whole Harry Kane thing is the only way I look at it, it has to be sentiment, right? I look back and I think, are people only wanting Harry Kane to stay because of sentiment? Because it's Harry Kane, he's our best player, and all that lot. Because I sit back and I think, right now, we could do with the money, can't we? We could do with money to invest in the squad. I think a really good point that's been made is that can't we use the money to transform? I get why people's sentiments are, I don't know how, but we're in a different era now. Let's look about now. And I think that's what the bit for me at the moment, that I just sit back and go, I don't understand how keeping Harry Kane at the moment. Yes, he's our best player. Yes, he's an amazing talent, incredible football player, one of the best in the world. But right now, we need a system more than a player. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that if we keep him for a year, we're going to have to change what Ange does anyway in another year's time if he doesn't stay.
Agreed. Exactly. Agreed.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Of course it does. I think that's the key point. If we would then end up having to change the way that we play for the basis of Harry Kane. Does that make sense? So we're gonna have to change the way we're gonna play under Postecoglou to suit Harry Kane. And yes, Harry Kane can play in any system. I know that before people start saying that. But what we've got to do is then I'm hearing people go to me, well, he can play as a 10. He can play in midfield. Why? Why would Harry Kane? Well, not because he can't do it, because he can. But why would Harry Kane want to? That for me is the key point here.
And also, why would he do that and come and be staying at us when he hasn't won any trophies and probably not going to, when he can go and play the position he prefers to play and actually win stuff?
Agreed. Exactly that. Totally agree with you. Why Steve's big up Strasbourg, Steve, by the way. This guy, I've decided to whip out a Marseille kit today, by the way. I don't know, against your Strasbourg, for why not? Big up to you, mate. But he's right. Cash on Kane, Spurs' unhealthy reliance on Kane and Son's goals is actually, however much it's a detriment, because it's a false sense of security. We all go, oh, well, we've got Harry Kane scoring loads of goals in this terrible team. But we know, some of us know, that without Harry Kane, we're not a very good football side. So maybe it's time to rip that Band-Aid off, rip that plaster off and go, do you know what? Yes, we may not be amazing, but what we're going to do, we're planning to build a system like Arsenal did, where they don't score loads of goals. Individually, they don't score loads of goals, but collectively they go and score 40 to 50 goals collectively as a three or a foursome, if that makes sense. We rely on
Yeah.
Harry Kane to score us 30 goals in the league, and without that, we're nowhere.
Yeah, I think actually Postecoglou likes to play like that anyway. I think he doesn't want just to have one person. He likes everybody just to chip in with those goals. So again, that's a system that like we want to see more of. And if we don't have Kane, surely that's obviously something that's not a negative, because that's more going towards an Ange way than it would be to go towards a Kane way.
And does it make you think? Like, and I sit back and I think, if this was any other club, this was any other club, and there was their star man says, "I'm not signing a new deal. I'm leaving on a free." How many stay? Most football clubs, most proper football clubs, go, "Fine, thank you for your service, but we're going to need to make some money out of you here because otherwise you're going to go on a free. So, unless you're not signing, we're going to sell you." For me, that conversation should have happened literally after the end of the last game of the season, before they all go on holiday and say, "Look, Harry, if you're not going to sign a new deal by this day, we're going to let you go." But that day must have gone past now. We're going to be in pre-season in a few weeks.
I would have done it last season if he didn't want to sign. When it
Agreed.
gets to the last 2 years, just say, "Listen, are you signing this contract? This is what we're going to do. Are you signing? Okay, cool. If you don't want to sign it, no player is bigger than the club, so you're going to have to go."
Agreed. Absolutely agree with. Listen, and this is the thing is when you say stuff, you get all this stuff of people going, "Oh, you hate Harry Kane. You don't." No, I love Harry Kane. Harry Kane for me is the greatest player I've ever seen at this football club. Yes, I'm 30. Before people question how old I am, there have been probably better technical players, but for me, Harry Kane's been the greatest player I've ever seen at this football club since I watched Tottenham play, in just his level of goal scoring ability. But for me, the key part is, we can't lose this man on a free transfer. And listen, it's going to be hard. And I made this point a few weeks back, Mia, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I said, the only way I would have said, let's keep a hold of Harry Kane is if we're going to win the league. If we've got a team with Harry Kane that is on the level that could win the league or a Champions League. Do you honestly think that we're at that level at the moment? I don't think we're anywhere near that.
No.
So why are we? What difference does it make if Harry Kane's here next season or not? It's going to make no difference, no?
I don't think so. I think people were really like kind of putting a lot of on Kane, saying, "If we don't have Kane, we're going to be this team. If we don't have Kane, this is going to happen." And I'm just a bit like, I think it's a bit hyperbolic and a bit over the top. We've lost other good players in our time, and guess what? We survived. There was a football team before Harry Kane, everybody. I think people forget that. And there will be one after Harry Kane as well. I just don't understand this whole. It's so dramatic from the fans as well, that they want to cling on to him, like they know when you see those really dramatic things where a woman or a man walks out the door and they have their partners on the floor dragging, "Please don't go, please don't go, don't leave me." That's what it's like with Harry Kane.
Agreed.
People need to let it go, man. Like, if he wants to go and he doesn't want to sign, he's obviously not committed to the club. If he doesn't want to sign, he doesn't show his commitment. So why should we show commitment to him?
But listen, I don't think it's as like that sort of leaning to it. For me, I sit back and go, I think Harry Kane's done enough at this football club to go, do you know what? I deserve more now. Like I think Harry Kane's done enough at this football club to go, do you know what? I've worked my hardest here to push this team over the line, but I'm not getting anywhere. So why should I sit and sign? That's for me where I would sit with it. I'm not against him. If he wants to leave, I'm totally understand it. I totally get why Harry Kane would want to leave. Completely understand it.
Yeah.
And Strasbourg C's come in. Big up, mate. Hope you're doing well, mate. Kane leaving for nothing gives you less cash to rebuild with, correct? And we all know Levy wouldn't take a financial hit like that from his own budget. It depends a lot on player sales, especially because no UCL football. Exactly. I think that's the key part. If we're going to lose an asset like Harry Kane, we might as well try and get some money for him. No, I think that's a rational thought. process.
But a lot of people are saying that the 30 goals are worth more than his money. No, they're not, because we can rebuild and start a different way of playing without Kane. So
Agreed.
yeah, we might not have one person scoring goals, but we will find somebody to score goals. Like there will be a different system now with Ange, so it will be different. Like we're not going to not score goals without Harry Kane. Let's put it that way.
Exactly, of course. And big up Bobby Kane, mate. Absolute legend, by the way. Top guy, top guy. Apparently rolling for Martinez from Inter. If they get him, will Kane stay? I'll be honest, if I'm Real Madrid right now, there's only one man I'll be all over, and that's Kylian Mbappe. If I'm Real Madrid, Mbappe's not signing a new deal. If I'm Real Madrid right now, I will be going, I don't care what happened last time, we're getting Mbappe. We'll make sure we get him in over the line. And regardless, I think Martinez, I think he's a very good, technically very good football player, but I think Mbappe, you look at that front three, Mia. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Mbappe is your front three. That's your front three for 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah,
10, 15 years.
I think with Mbappe, he suits Real Madrid. He really
will be
suits
Galactico,
him.
isn't he? Like that Galactico team, like he's a wonder, he's a superstar. Like that's also why I said by the way, I said about Harry Kane going there. I said actually Harry Kane would have suited really well there. It may have been a different format system, but let's be honest, you've got longevity when you talk about with Mbappe. You don't have longevity with Kane. Basically, you're going to get 4 years out of Harry Kane, and then they're going to have to get rid of him. So, like with Mbappe, you can go long term with him. Big up, Steve. You need Kane to go for good Tottenham's future, not the present. Get the cash and give your Steve, I can't echo this anymore. I can't echo it anymore. And I think me and you completely agree with what I'm saying. Yeah. Is that for me, it's not about we're not Harry Kane FC. It's what I said in the group chat. I said it's funny how everyone laughed and basically ridiculed Pep Guardiola when he went, "Oh, they're just the Harry Kane team." We are just the Harry Kane team, and our fans are proving it because no matter what, they don't want to sell him. And listen, it's not me saying this is the part, because people clip all this stuff and they go, "Oh, you want Harry Kane to go?" No, but I know because I put my sensible hat on and go, what difference does it make if Kane goes now or in 12 months' time? Because in that time, we're not going to win a trophy, realistically, unless we get completely lucky in the cups and Man United and Man City play each other, Arsenal play Chelsea, and then they all play each other, and then we get through it on a really simple run. And even that, mate, is not even with Tottenham easy. I think that's the part for me that I just sit back and go, it makes no difference, does it?
No, it really
don't. Some of your fans were in La La Land, agreed, thinking that they were in Champions League final on Saturday and it wasn't fighting. Steve, exactly. And it's a key point here, and it's an absolutely massive point. And mate, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. I think I've let you. You've got the link in the group chat, Steve. So you're welcome to come on anytime. I think you said you're just running a bit, so it'd be lovely to get you on because I love your takes on stuff. It's actually really good to have a chat about it. But this is the thing, though. The Champions League never was the springboard for Tottenham. Yes, and listen, people will hate me for saying it. I think that Champions League run we got really lucky in. Any other day of the week, I don't think it happened. Any other season, it doesn't happen. It was just one of those aligning moments that so much luck came through. If you go back to it, you think about how many late goals we had to score. And yes, we did score them, and great. But it doesn't happen every day of the week, does it? We score a late goal against PSV to go and beat them, which is then what allows us to get to the final day against the Barcelona team that had already qualified, by the way, qualified. We then needed PSV, who were already bottom, to beat Inter. And then we needed to get at least a point then against the Barcelona team, which we then scored with 15 minutes to go with Lucas Moura, is literally the only reason which dragged us over the line in that. Yes, Dortmund battered them. I'm not talking about Dortmund here. But then you look at Man City. Any other day of the week, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we did.
The Sterling one.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you do need the rub of the green to kind of do like you do. But we had. Do you know what? We had the luck of like every single bit of luck you can think of. No, like a lucky rabbit's foot. We had everything that there was going that was lucky. We had it in that season when we got through.
Completely, I totally agree with you. Totally agree. This is nothing on us not. This has got nothing to do with us not getting over the not getting to the final. Listen, if we'd won the final, I don't care. I would have gone. I would have been partying like Jack Grealish if we'd won the Champions League that year. And that's not even a joke. It was depressing after being in Madrid after that. I just wanted to get back to Valencia because that's where I was staying. Literally, but they don't do trains until 6 a.m. So I literally had to sleep outside the station until 6 a.m. Depressed because it was like, oh, come on. But if we'd won it, I'd have been dancing around in Madrid till 6 a.m. But this is, I think this is the point. I think this is what Steve's point here is that people think that we are able to go and get massive names. I don't think we're anywhere near that. I don't know where people think that we're near that as well. And it's painful. We need to start again. Start from scratch, I think, is the key one. You can't keep a player around who doesn't want to stay, especially when a new manager, exactly, agreed. One wants to establish a new brand of culture, agreed. Ange needs your whole squad to buy in. And if you don't, you've got to go. I'm gonna break that apart, Steve, and I do get what you're saying. I think Kane will be an optimum professional if he stays. I don't think he will down tools, but the manager will already know that the player doesn't want to be there. And that's nothing on Harry Kane, because as I said earlier, I don't think it's anything against him. If he doesn't want to be here, he has every right not to be there. But for me, it's more about everything else. You're right in the first part. If the new manager comes in, he's got a new way of playing. He'll want his players to play in the right way. Harry Kane will do that, but why would Harry Kane want to do that? Why would he want to? He'll do it because he's a team player, but why would he want to do it, Mia?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I know. I do get that. I do get that. Obviously, why would he? But do you know what? I just feel like this Harry Kane thing is just ridiculous. That anybody would think that that it's not a good idea to sell him. I really don't ever get it when it's so important for us to rebuild.
The only thing it can be is sentiment for me. That literally feels like the only reason you'd want to is sentiment. Is because it's Harry Kane. He's Mr. Tottenham.
Do you know what? I'm the least sentimental person because I'm a bit like people need to get the heck over Poch. People, one day we're going to be without Harry Kane. Get over it. It's going to happen. When it happens, just get over it. And when he isn't with us, I don't wish him well and I don't wish him to win because when he's not in my kit, I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't care. And I feel the same about Poch. He went to Chelsea. Yeah, and what? Like, I'm not really a sentimental person. When you're at my club, I love you to bits. When you're not at my club, I don't give a damn.
Oh, and I get that sentiment. For me, I'd be different. I would, if he went elsewhere, I mean, minus in England, if he went elsewhere to PSG, or of course I'd want him to do well because he's come through the academy and he deserves trophies. But I think for me at the moment though, if he goes somewhere in England, by the way, I don't want him. Why would I want him to go and do well? Because that'll be at the detriment of my football club. Bear in mind that we're crap anyway. But I just think we need to be, as a fan base, just going, do you know what? Maybe one moment we've just got to step away from the whole Harry Kane thing.
Joe, one thing I will pull you up on is that he deserves trophies. You know, it's a really difficult one with Kane because, like, I'm going to be honest and say he had opportunities to help the team. The whole team didn't win trophies, and he was part of those teams that didn't get us over that line. Well. Yeah, so he does have to take some responsibility, and people don't like hearing that he is, and Poch and the rest of the team, they were all losers because they didn't win, and people don't like hearing that. They go, Harry Kane isn't well, did he win? No, so he's a loser, just like the rest of them were losers. And people don't like to hear that word. And when I had an argument with someone, I went in another group chat and I said, go and look up what it means, the definition of the word. What does it say? A person who doesn't win. So I'm not giving you an opinion that is the truth. He didn't win and none of them won. So they are losers. And people hate it when you say that. They get really offended. And I'm like, listen, we've got to be realistic. We've got to be realistic about what happened. They didn't win. None of them got us over the line. They had an opportunity to get us over that line, all but for a kick of a ball against Man United, a penalty. We could have won something, but we didn't. And that's the fine margins of football. So does Harry Kane deserve it? maybe he does, but do Tottenham deserve it as well? Yeah, we do, in a way. Like, we should,
Yes.
obviously, in a way, like, we not deserve it, but it, you know, would be nice for us to win a trophy. So if it comes to it, I'd rather if he left and we won a trophy, to me, I'm a bit like, I don't care. If we win a trophy without Harry Kane, so be it. I'm not really bothered.
Bobby's it now. You don't deserve trophies, you win them. Exactly. I think that's
it.
I think about it more in the sense of I actually agree with a lot of what you just said there. I think for me, Harry Kane has to, for me at the moment, Harry Kane has to make a decision. And this is why, you know, when box office calls him a loser and all this lot, and I love Alex as well. And him and Sava going at it earlier was absolutely brilliant, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. Absolute top draw YouTube. That is just hilarious. But one thing he does, and people hate to say it because it's Harry Kane, that I think it's more about him still staying at Tottenham. And listen, me being a Tottenham fan, I want to be biased. Yeah, I love him at Spurs. Amazing football player. But the word that gets used, I think about a lot, is ambition. Where's his ambition? His ambition to win stuff. Like, for me, I think he went too sentimental. He's very sentimental, and sentiment doesn't come across in football. Football's a short career. And I brought up the point the other day is, you know, when let's just say Spurs and Leicester are in an FA Cup final, hypothetically, in 10, 15 years' time. So, and then when at the end of the season, let's just say Harry Kane has broken Shearer's record and stuff. Let's just say that. And he stayed at Tottenham and retired at Tottenham. You know, when they announce him, like, this is Jamie Vardy, and then the banner comes at the bottom, it will say Premier League winner and FA Cup winner, and then put the years next to it. Harry Kane will be top goal scorer.
If that, because someone else might have broke it by then. So
my points are in hypotheticals.
Yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah, and of course.
We're going to be talking about England captain has not won a trophy, a team-based trophy at all.
Do you know what? For me, it's my example is, what's he going to do with his grandchildren? Is he going to sit down and say, once upon a time, I broke a record, and then it got taken over by some robot called Haaland, and then
some robot.
And then they're going to say,
but I get your point.
Yeah, or whoever it is, and then they're going to say, okay, Granddad, what about trophies? Oh, I didn't win any team trophies.
Yes, sorry, Elias, just 1 second. I was want to touch on this. There's another one I'll touch on yours in a second. Is that, yes, he's won golden boots. And listen, no one's discrediting Harry Kane. Harry Kane's an amazing football player. Incredible. World class, in fact. And yes, he's won golden boots. Amazing. He's won a player of the month. He's won loads of this stuff, by the way. He's got loads of individual accolades. No one is discrediting that. No one is. But you're telling me Harry Kane wouldn't swap every single golden boot that he has, every single player of the month trophy to win a Premier League, to win a Champions League. That's the difference. But the fact is the argument's got to be is the point is, I'm sorry, Elias, 1 second. Sorry. It's not that we're calling him a loser. We think he's an amazing football player. Stop twisting what's being said. You're listening to what's being said and changing the subject, not what we're saying. The point being is where's Harry Kane's ambition right now? If he has ambition, he should be saying now, I want to leave. He should have, and listen, I'm the massive advocate of Harry Kane. Got his posters up all there. I can show you him if you want to. Massive love to the man. Love him to bits. Absolute greatest football player I've seen at Tottenham for me since I've watched Tottenham. Since I started watching Tottenham, he's been the greatest. But for me, we as a football club have let him down. Let's not get that wrong. As a football club, we've let him down. But you could argue, and I'm not saying it is because we don't know what's going to happen. He's let himself down if he doesn't make a move right now. Because the opportunity is very much leaving him now. The whole point of Harry Kane is leaving him right now. He needs to go and win stuff. He's not going to do it at Tottenham. Newsflash, we're crap at the moment and we need to start again. He's not going to win stuff at Tottenham. No, it's not. It's what you're saying is yes, you did hear wrong. What we're saying is what Mia was trying to paint the picture of is that where is his ambition? when we needed him, he didn't win stuff. That's not directed just at Harry Kane. That's directed at the whole squad. You could direct it at Heung-min Son as well. You could direct it at other players.
Of course.
The point being is when we had the chance, we didn't win those chances. For me, that was more on the manager. That's why I'm not one of these that has this massive love-ins for Pochettino. And the fact that it still happens now, for me, I find absolutely amazing. He's manager of Chelsea, and we've got fans that absolutely love him. Why?
And what else? Wasn't he the one when we lost to Chelsea who said that trophies build egos? He flirted with other teams. He never batted off times when people linked to other teams. He made mistakes in with players when he did play in those big games, because obviously he wasn't maybe adept to playing or whatever it was. So he made mistakes. People put him up on this pedestal, and I never get it. I never get this pedestal that he gets.
I understood the loving for Pochettino. I get it.
I do get it.
I get it, but the thing is, I don't get it now. I got it years ago. I understood it when we were under Jose and it was dreary football. I even got it under Conte to a certain extent. But now I just don't get it anymore. We're so past it. I find it absolutely bad.
Like I say, at the time, when they were at my club, I loved them to bits. But as soon as Poch left, because it was the right time, he didn't win an away game for 10 months. I think it was the right time. So for me, I was like, as soon as he was gone, that was it. He's gone. I'm not going to sit and pine over him when he's gone.
But this is the part for me. It's just, I find the narrative weird, when it all. Oh, big up! By the way, we got the goat himself coming on. Big up, man, my guy. Look, Marseille, what have you got? Yeah, you followed with a Strasbourg.
Strasbourg, yeah, baby.
I've just got random kits. To be fair, I don't support anyone.
I did too. I got a bunch of random.
Steve, welcome, mate. Welcome. We're having a big discussion, and you've been in the chat doing your thing, and love it, mate. Absolutely love your debates and love your chats and stuff. From what I've seen what your take is on Harry Kane. I get it. I completely get it.
I have a logic. I have a little logic puzzle. Whenever
do you know what? Go for it. The floor is yours, my good man.
All right. So, if someone commits a crime, that means they are a
criminal,
right? If someone is on a winning team, that means they are a
winner.
So what's the opposite of someone who isn't a criminal? Someone who doesn't commit crimes isn't a criminal, because you have to follow that logically, right?
Yeah, I get that.
It is the complete opposite. If you are someone on a winning team, you're a winner. What is the logical opposite of that? If you are on a losing team, that means you are a loser. Right?
But
it just follows the logical.
No, Elias, if someone wins a golden boot, then they are a very good goal scorer.
Yes.
They're not a winner because they've won nothing as a trophy.
If Harry Kane wins the golden boot, they are a very good goal scorer because he scores loads of goals. And listen, this is what I don't get. Harry Kane feels like there's a few players in the club that you can't talk about. There's so many. Can't talk about Son. If you talk about Son, you've been absolutely criminalized. If you talk about Harry Kane, you talk about so many. You talk about Romero and you get absolutely castrated, by the way. I have been there. This is nothing on ability. This is the part that people don't get. This is not about if Harry Kane's a good football player. We all know in this group, we know in the chat, he is an amazing football player, elite football player. But how bad does it look on his CV that a player that we can all collectively agree on is an elite football player hasn't won anything?
They're just
hasn't won any trophies.
They're just individual things. And also, if you look at the top footballers, what do they all say? They would trade all their goals, all their individual, whatever they've got going, their individual, traded all.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry. But I've just got to say, Elias, if you take away individual awards, because they're not trophies really, they're awards. It's the Golden Boot Award. It's
prize.
The player of the tournament award. It's not a trophy. A trophy is the FA Cup. What has he won that is not considered a pre-season tournament? That's the problem. But you say individually, but that's not. He's in a team-based sport.
The thing
He's not
is
playing golf.
the
Golf
thing
is
is
golf is an individual competition. He's
Yes.
playing football.
boxing. Boxing is individual. Tennis is individual. UFC is individual.
But this thing. It's not exactly. No one here directly is actually blaming Harry Kane. This is the pit. Steve, this is why I love YouTube, by the way, because you say something and people completely miss the context of the conversation. That's why I need to I'm buying everyone context t-shirts, because everyone just has to point at the context. The context is, yes, you could argue not Harry Kane's fault, but you've also got to remember he was also a part of these teams where we lost in cup runs.
Yeah.
We lost in cup finals. Not saying it's directly all Harry Kane's fault. Nobody's saying that.
He was part of the effort that failed to win.
Yeah.
Just like if you're a part of a team that was part of the effort in the successful attempt to win, is that a winner? Again, people completely in the comments or whatever. You guys understood my logical analogy or puzzle, right? Fill in the blank. A criminal is someone who commits a crime. A winner is someone who wins. And in the context of winning, the individual stuff, people don't talk about it nearly as much as their accomplishments with a team win a trophy.
Agreed. And
that doesn't mean he can't change it. Harry Kane can change it. He is a loser until he wins a team trophy. That is the harsh reality of it. And I will say that about a Newcastle player. If he doesn't have any trophies to his name, but he can change that. I don't think Nick Pope has any trophies to his name right now. He is a loser, but he can turn into a winner.
No, but you know what the difference is with things? It's like if you're in those finals, if you're in those cup runs, and you've got the ability to try and win them. The whole team had that ability, and they did not do it. And Poch had one of the best teams, and they didn't get us over the line. The whole team let us down.
But man, this is the point. This is I've just pinned some. Big up TJ, big up Elias. I've just pinned some stuff. I'll come back to them in 2 seconds. Just I want to pick this one. Here's some love hoggies, mate. Why do people want Kane to leave to win trophies at another club? I wanted to win with us. I wanted that for nearly a decade.
It hasn't happened, and there's no evidence to suggest.
And as Steve just mentioned, the harsh reality: Harry Kane has got 1 year left. If we think Harry Kane, even with him at our club next season, and we're going to go and win stuff, you're far gone. For me, we're
you would have to get fortunate, like that UCL run you were talking about. You would have to get extremely fortunate in the Carabao Cup or FA.
Yeah, like Man City play Man United in the third round. You would have to get Chelsea in the third round and stuff like that.
Or if you got a big boy like Man City, they would have to have Haaland out. They would have to have De Bruyne out, or something, or a fortunate red card, or a lucky deflection goal or something. And the chances of that are not very high because that doesn't happen to Manchester City.
Of course. And I just wanted to pull up this one. He said Kane is getting battered out. He's not TJ, mate. I love you. Absolute top bloke, by the way. Absolutely love you.
I'm not battering him.
No one's battering him. I think. Do you know what everyone is? I think everyone actually here. The reason what they want Harry Kane to completely surpass his ability, because Harry Kane at the moment is better than Tottenham now. He deserves better. I agree.
And Son probably to an extent. And to be fair,
I think Harry Kane more though, because I sit there and go, he's 30 years of age right now, Harry Kane. I go, Harry Kane is giving everything to this football club right now. But the key thing is sentiment wins you nothing in football.
Yeah.
Name me one other if someone in the chat can name me another other player that has played for just one team and won everything. And when I say that, doesn't count for Lionel Messi, because Messi left. But you get my point here. Name me one club that stayed at
club man that won everything.
One club man that wasn't at an elite football club. That was my pass. Name me one player that stayed in an elite football club that went and won, and then stayed at a football club and won loads.
There's only really one that comes to mind. That's Francesco Totti, but you just
he still won. He won the league with Serie.
He won the Scudetto with Roma in 2001, and that was a good team though. That was the team that was actually equipped to do something. Like I just for me, bro, and also Kane he is a loser
No.
right now. But he
This
can
is-
change
this-
that if he
Oh.
wins something.
this is painful.
Because again, here's the thing, right? You can be, let's follow my logical puzzle again. If you're a criminal, that means you commit a crime. But if you don't commit that crime and you do your time, that then you can turn into not a criminal. You'll always be a criminal, but you can choose to change it if you choose to behave in a different way. Like no one is stuck in a box, but right.
But this is, I think
right
this is yeah. But sorry, I love it. I just want to say. So you think Kane would lose if he joins Real Madrid? He will lose if he joins PSG or Man City? No. But the point being is the best players, cream rises to the top, right?
Yes.
We're saying cream rises to the top. So all the best players all the elite players end up at Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, Bayern Munich. You know, we don't have to name them all, but you know what I mean. But Harry Kane hasn't done that. Why has he not done that? That's the question people are asking. No one is questioning Harry Kane's ability. We all aren't stupid. We all watch football. The man scored 30 league goals with this crap team. He's not a bad player. He's an incredible football player. The question's got to be asked, why hasn't he done it?
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason why Harry Kane
There's
hasn't done
multiple.
it.
There's multiple reasons. There's multiple, and the biggest circumstance is that right now he is at Tottenham. Tottenham are not going to and haven't won anything with Harry Kane. He can change that. That's the biggest thing for me. He himself can put in a transfer request and say, I know I am one of the best strikers in the world. I haven't accomplished or won diddly squat in terms of team trophies. Before I retire, I need to change that. And I need to go to a club where I can go and win something.
But sorry, this is one thing that's really grinding me down. Winners and losers are subjective. No, they're not. It's fact. It's fact.
No,
if you win the league, you're a winner. That's not subjective. That's fact.
If you're a teacher, you teach.
Yeah, it's a fact. If you win, if you finish second, you're a loser because you came second, not first. This, unfortunately, this is mindsets nowadays. No offense. No, I'm not being rude to people, but this is unfortunately mindset of football nowadays.
But
And I read an article, not an article, but it was on Twitter. I read something. It was absolutely brilliant. It's a brilliant read. I'll try if I can. I won't get it now, but if I find it, I'll try and dig it up in a bit. And I'll maybe do it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But I read it, and it's like that. Football now has become so polarized in the fact of it's all about you've got to be as positive as you can. You've got to find the positives, even though you've had a crap season. So no one comes out and says, do you know what? We've been absolutely awful this season. Unacceptable, but we're going to step up and do better. And it only happens in this country, by the way. I live in Spain. It don't happen here.
That's true.
It don't happen here. No one goes, oh, we had an all right season because we had a good season this season because we finished fourth and we're not the fourth best team. Don't work like that. No. Everyone is in the win stuff. Do you think Real Madrid, by the way, are sitting there going, "Oh, we came second this year. Oh, it's not too bad." No,
they didn't even come. They barely came second to Atletico.
But the point being is, there were talks about sacking Carlo Ancelotti this season.
They're going to bin half the squad.
It only happens in this country about we sit there and go,
what the thing is about nowadays is everybody wants to get a participation award. That's not sport. Elite sports, either you win or you lose. That is just the facts of the matter, isn't it? In any kind of sport, whether it's individual sport or a group sport, either you win or you lose. They're just facts.
And the crazy thing is, though, is that sport, and in football specifically, a team has the opportunity to win multiple trophies. Like West Ham, for example, are not losers. They won the Conference League this year.
Of course not.
Manchester United won a Carabao.
Who had a better season based on silverware? Arsenal or West Ham?
West Ham all day, every day.
West Ham won something Arsenal didn't. And listen, people will go, yeah, but we challenged. But
it doesn't
matter. If that didn't matter, why would everybody always tell Tottenham, oh, you don't win trophies if trophies doesn't matter?
Who won the FA Cup in 2011-12 compared to who finished second, third, or fourth in 2011-12? I could tell you who won the FA Cup in 2011-12. I can't remember who finished second, third, fourth. And if you're remembered for finishing as a runner-up, like Manchester United was with the Aguero goal to Man City, that's not exactly a good thing to be remembered for, don't you think?
I just want to big up TJ, mate. You know I love you. I've got a lot of time. Just 1 second, but it's a
Good
every point
debate.
wasted on mudding. No one's mudding Harry Kane, by the way. This is what happens when you have a
I'm
debate.
not even a Spurs fan, so why would I care about mudding?
TJ, I love you, mate. But my point being, no one's sitting there like having a go. I think people are just sitting there. We're having a rational debate, taking the Spurs cap off for a second and going, do you know what? Harry Kane deserves. He should be going out there winning stuff.
Yeah.
And he has to set his own legacy. Tottenham doesn't set his legacy. He does. This is more on him. And when you say about and that you could have been used to getting your owners out, me sitting here shouting, I want Levy out, isn't going to get any change. They earn a £5 billion company, a £5 billion industry they own now with everything there. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what Mia thinks. It doesn't even matter what Steve thinks. It doesn't matter what you guys in the chat think. It makes no difference. They're not going anywhere unless somebody goes and offers them extortion amounts of money.
Well, here's the one.
They have created a dynasty at Tottenham.
Yeah, a money dynasty. And, the other thing is, too, it's that talk is one thing. Talk is cheap. Dollar bills speak. And look how many people are on the Tottenham Hotspur waiting list for tickets. Isn't it in excess of 100,000? Isn't the stadium full every single week? Until that stuff stops happening, then that's the way
same people that shout at me going, oh, you don't sort Enoch and leave out. I haven't put money into the club for 2 years.
And that's more of that's a statement. Shout out to people that protest, and the most effective people are the ones that protest and the wallets. Because
I'll be honest, TJ, mate. Sorry. I know. Sorry, I keep interrupting. It's so rude of me. Apologies. But Kane hasn't done it when
Eric Dyer's a loser.
When we had our team with Pochettino, we did have the team around him. By the way, that team was incredible.
And
what we didn't do is sprinkle a bit of magic at the end of it. Is what we didn't do, which was wrong.
But you have to call it how it is. That team were losers, not just Kane. Dele Alli, loser. Yeah. Son, loser. Lurie at the time before the World Cup, loser. Who'd you have? Trippier at the time, loser until he won the Atletico Madrid title in La Liga. Danny Rose, loser.
Here's a question for you, Steve. Yeah. Does Harry Kane? Harry Kane must be looking at the celebrations in Manchester yesterday and going, I could have done what Kyle Walker done.
Yeah. Of course he is. If he wants to win and not be a loser, he would think yes.
If he had ambition, he would do it.
Alan Shearer at Newcastle United was a loser. As harsh as that is, he did not win a trophy. So this isn't even a bias thing. I'm not just coming into a Spurs channel taking shots at Levy. He was a loser. He failed to win a trophy at Newcastle United. And not just him. There were other players that failed to win at Newcastle United. At least Shearer won at Blackburn, so there he wasn't a loser. His career as a loser.
Again, I'm going to interrupt you again. I'm going to have to break this down. Elias has gone, Kane has not done it because of Levy. Then why hasn't he left?
Yes, that's the thing. It's not like
Kane doesn't have to be here. This is what annoys me. And listen, I can't stand the ownership of the football club. But my point being is Harry Kane is the one that has subscribed to this ownership. He signed contract after contract. He
signed the contract.
So he's as much Levy in as much as people wanted. So this is the point when we talk about it. This is what annoys me. You can't have in society, and it's not just football, but in society, conversations are like this now. That when realistically,
they're narrow. They're narrow. Very, very.
Conversation should be quite narrow. We're talking about relative points.
Let's talk about the black, white, and grey.
But everyone, it feels like because we're talking like that, is all of a sudden we don't like Harry Kane. I love Harry Kane. As I said, him there, and there. Covered around my flat in here. All around my flat. Love him. But you have to question it. Why hasn't he gone? Why hasn't he gone?
Yeah. Winner and loser subjective. It's not.
Yeah,
subjective.
Exactly. Winners and losers is subjective. They're not. They're literally they're facts. They're literal facts.
If we're talking about winner and loser with a Premier League footballer who has the opportunity to win the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa League, Europa Conference League, Champions League, whatever competition.
Steve, from this argument, that's like me saying I'm going to put the ticket in for the lottery, and then going, oh well, subjectively I thought I won, even though I got no numbers right.
Right.
I should be a multi-millionaire now because.
Or if you were one number off. If you were one number off, well, I deserved it. I got the other 7 right.
It don't work like that,
no,
man.
no, you didn't get that one right. Just like you didn't win that.
No, okay. Sorry, Peter. I think you must have come in a bit late. That's not what we're saying. The whole conversation is with Harry Kane with 1 year left on his contract. What should Tottenham be doing as a club? Should we need to be prioritizing us as a club next season, with or without Harry Kane? If he doesn't sign a new contract, then the conversation was we have to let him go because we need the money. We should be collecting the money and not letting him go on a free next season. The debate kind of turned because people were saying that we're trying to sell Harry Kane. No, I'd love Harry Kane to stay, but we have to be realistic, right?
Yeah. And by the way, Elias, your analogy. And by the way, Thierry Henry's not a loser. He was a loser for the UCL final, but obviously he won things with Arsenal.
Stuff, you know what I mean?
That's again, I'm talking about a career as a loser, who's someone who hasn't won things versus Thierry Henry, who won a Premier League and other things in his career.
Thierry Henry won everything except the Champions League. He won basically everything at Arsenal. It doesn't work like that. Harry Kane hasn't won anything. He hasn't won anything. That's the distinctive at the moment. He hasn't won anything, and he needs to.
Perchy, why do you support a club that doesn't win things? Doesn't it make you a loser? Respectfully asking.
Who said that?
If you really want to be technical about it, I guess so.
I support Tottenham because I fell in love with
supporting and playing to win.
Can I just actually debunk that point? That we support a club. We're not to, and we supported him. We supported the club before Harry Kane. We supported the club before anybody. So I supported them when we won. Guess what? I was here when we won a trophy in 2008. 15 years ago. I supported them then. So I've supported my club when we've actually won stuff.
Also, as a supporter, you cannot change the outcome on the field.
No.
And you were either born, you were either born as a Tottenham fan or you grew to love Tottenham or whatever the case for whatever club, that is what it is. So you can't be a loser because you can't influence. If you want to jump ship, I think fine.
Do you know what is it? Do you know what I think the problem is at the moment? I think people are getting rattled because of people getting rattled on the term loser. But that's just a word.
Perchy, that's the thing that's crazy. It's supposed to bother people. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. So that actually shows that we're right because it's supposed to bother you that Harry Kane is a loser because we know he shouldn't be because he's so good, but he just needs to jump ship to change his tag from a loser at Tottenham to a winner in his career.
Agreed.
That's the thing. It's supposed to sting to be a loser. It's supposed to suck.
Bobby, and you know what? I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with everything you've put in here. And I've got an answer here. Perchy, he's here because he's chosen his loyalty to the club over his personal ambition. And he, as us, bash him for it. I will always love and respect him. One, always love Harry Kane, will always respect Harry Kane. This is not what I'm trying to say here. This is not what's being said. As I said, Kane poster here, picture here, picture here, picture, and he's in the back one up there. So before anyone says anything, I love Harry Kane. Love him to bits. Favourite ever player at Tottenham.
Yeah.
But my question's got to be about him that he has chosen at the club where when the club has let him down time after time after time.
Lied to him.
As a football player, I don't get it because people think that people like Gareth Bale are toxic because they leave to go to Real Madrid and win everything. Do they look? Because I think Harry Kane ability-wise better than Gareth Bale. By the way, people might judge it. I think Harry Kane ability-wise is better than Gareth Bale. That's just an opinion.
As a footballer, more complete.
As a complete football player, I think he is. Gareth Bale got me off my seat more
because Gareth Bale's faster. Gareth Bale probably has.
Gareth Bale got me off my seat, but Harry Kane technically is a better football player than Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale won everything, and this is the part of me. It's not. This isn't about a Kane bashing. No one's bashing Harry Kane. If Harry Kane stays, I'll still love the guy, of course. But I think you've got the conversation's got to be about where is his personal ambition going to go. He's 30 this year. He's got what, maybe 4, maybe 5 years left. And
Maybe,
people,
who knows? Archie,
people are creating mental gymnastics to basically say, oh, but him staying means he's good, all this. No. For him, he needs to go and win stuff. There's a reason why
he
we're
cares
Man
about it
City.
enough. If he cares about it enough, if he don't want to, bro, it is what it is. Like I said, my logical analogy is what it is. It's logical. A winner wins.
Sorry, can I just say, so 1 second, Elias, if you're going to talk about me and Mia like that, you're gone. Last warning, I'm not having this. The 2 Spurs on the stream, them are losers. Why? For supporting the club that I grew up supporting. I went to White Hart Lane. You have no disrespect to you, mate. You've never been to Tottenham. You've never sat foot at White Hart Lane. I'm just trying to think what season was the first season. I remember my first ever game.
2005.
I can't remember.
You seem like 25.
Do you know what? The first game I ever went to White Hart Lane, we lost to Liverpool in the Carling Cup on penalties. It was the first game. It was the third round. I can't remember. But I grew up loving this football club. I'm sorry. For me, as a football player, you're
a fan.
You're not a fan anymore when you're a football player.
Right.
A good example here is, by the way, a good example here. Go and watch Ben Foster's podcast. If anyone's not seen it, go and watch it. Ben Foster's podcast is brilliant. He tells it as it is. He says, I was a Spurs fan, grew up as a Spurs fan, but now I'm not because I've played for so many football clubs. I've played for clubs all around the world. He said the fan as he said, no, not many football players are fans anymore because
few exceptions, of course.
Then it becomes a job and it's all about success.
Yeah.
But don't start shooting at me and Mia for no reason. We're just having a debate.
Referees, same thing. Some of them will grow up supporting a club, but then they have to view it as a what's it called? As a job. Like it is what it is. Harry Kane has not won a trophy at Tottenham or in his career because I know he went on loan to a bunch of other places.
Also, the Shearer debate, Wayne, is slightly different because Shearer went and won the league with Blackburn
and then went to Newcastle.
And then he went to Newcastle.
So yes, as a career, Shearer is not a loser. His time at Newcastle was unsuccessful and he did not win anything, so he was a loser. Albeit he scored a lot of goals and all that, made memories, and that's cool, but he didn't get over the line. He was part of a squad 11 that had multiple years, different managers. They all failed to win. And the thing is that at least he won at Blackburn. He wasn't a loser. Bro, it is what it is. And until Kane leaves, he ain't winning no trophies at Tottenham. So if he wants to end his career as a loser, that's on him. He can leave on a free, or he can stay and probably not win anything. If he does win something, cool.
Do you know the other thing I would question a bit is his look, because when it was the Man City, he would have gone Man City. So I don't think he's as loyal as what people think. He wants to go to Man City. He wants to win the trophies.
And I bet you he's sitting there absolutely fuming he didn't go to Man City.
Yeah,
they just won the treble. Why can't people wake up? So Bobby, just to say, mate, I know you're not, mate. You're an absolute real one, mate. I love you.
In the comments, it's all cool.
Elias, there is nothing I won't say on Will's stream and I won't say here. When people make some horrible opinions, what's horrible about wanting Harry Kane to achieve the best? What is horrible about wanting him to win the best?
It's because it's again, like I said, the word loser is supposed to
people, man. It triggers people big time.
It's supposed to cut Harry Kane to go win stuff.
Yeah, and he should want to win stuff, bro. Cool. But you have to call it like you see it. You can say everything, but you can't say Harry Kane is a winner because he has not been a part of a professional team that has won.
about loads of other stuff, to be fair. It was only going to go for an hour because I've got work to do. But I've had a great laugh, guys, by the way. It's actually really good. But this is the point. I think people in the comments, Elias, I'm talking to you directly now. Stop making what we're saying and twisting it into like that we're hating on people. Not what we're doing.
If you want to twist it for a logical debate, fine. I don't mind that. But
don't just start sitting there. We're making horrible comments because we're not. We're having a rational debate that is being made by everyone at the moment. Yeah. Should Harry Kane stay or go? People have been talking about it for 5 years. It's not irrational. It's a normal debate.
Yeah, it's all cool, bro. Look, it is what it is. It's supposed to cut like a knife when you call someone a loser. It's supposed to. And that for me is where the truth lies in it, because it's supposed to sting. It's supposed to hurt. You don't, like you said, you don't think Harry Kane is bothered that he didn't go to Manchester City and won a freaking treble this year?
If he's got anything about him, he would be bothered. Of course,
yes,
if he's got anything about him, he will be bothered. All these people will say the personal accolades are worth more. No, they're not. He's seeing people in West Ham's team lift the trophy. They're going to text him and say, "Ha ha ha! You didn't win nothing."
Do they have trophy parades for winning golden boots? Do they have trophy parades for what's it called? They have trophy. Do you have trophies? What's it called?
So can I just hold on. TJ, this wasn't about him not going to White Hart Lane. The point is, he's telling me that I'm a loser for supporting Tottenham. I supported Tottenham when I was growing up.
Because you went to White Hart Lane and you grew up.
When I was a kid, and I fell in love with the club. Yeah. This wasn't about him not going. My point being is when you're telling me and Mia, who when we were children, to White Hart Lane, went through the East Stand and sat down on the shelf. I fell in love with Tottenham then. That's why I support that football club. Nothing to do with about him not going. My point being is that was what the argument was being made.
Joe, actually, what my story is that my nanny supported them. She passed away when I was 21, but she supported Tottenham. And so it's a family thing in our house. Like, we support Tottenham because my nan supported Tottenham, and we've carried on the tradition of supporting Tottenham from my nan. So that's where it comes from, family. Like, it's important to me to carry that on for my nan, who's not around no more.
Yeah. And to be fair, and that's the thing. That's the thing where it's subjective, because you guys know I support multiple different clubs in different countries. Some people do that, some people don't. Some people just stick with one. That's cool. That's subjective, though. Winning and losing as a professional footballer on a team is not subjective. Harry Kane can't just say, I actually won the treble this year with Man City, but you were a Tottenham player. You scored 30 goals. No. I'm switching my allegiance to Man City.
Yeah, I'm not glorying.
And
just there was one more point here, and it's the last point, because I'm going to have to wrap up because I have got work to do. So my last point here, and for you two to answer here, is this. If this was Bukayo Saka, and he hadn't won it, but minus him winning the FA Cup, say he hasn't won the FA Cup and he hasn't won anything, and Bukayo Saka turned down Real Madrid, let's just say, I'm not saying Kane has, and he had 1 year left on his contract and he stayed at Arsenal, every single Spurs fans will be going, God, he's a loser. He's a loser. But they don't want to say it about Harry Kane because they love him. And I get it. But my point being is if we're going to talk about it and say, oh no, Kane's not a loser, he's won all these accolades, blah blah blah. But then fans would say exactly the same if it was a rival player. They would call him a loser and going, he should be better. That's the point.
And what did we all just say about Arsenal? They bottled it. They lost because they didn't win the title. So we all say it about Arsenal, but when it comes to your own team, you've got to take that feed. Like, sometimes
I'm making a hypothetical, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, you've got to just obviously take yourself away from it and understand that is just the way that it is. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, it's not nice to hear, but sometimes a harsh reality has to be said.
It's the truth, man. And that's, hey, it is what it is. It's tit for tat. It's an eye for an eye. That's why I said I don't mind if someone says Newcastle United were losers this year. Yeah, we failed to win the Carabao Cup, but
Jay, so I think you missed the hypothetical. The hypothetical is if you flip the players around, polar opposites, completely flip them around, and it was Spurs Kane, Bukayo Saka, or it doesn't. I'm just using him as an example, by the way. It could have been anyone. The point being is, if he was coming to his 30s, not won anything at Arsenal, and then
just finished eighth,
didn't leave to, and he's at Kane's level, we'd all be going, "Where's his ambition?"
Right.
You know, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up because it's been a laugh. I've had a good time. Guys, don't have it out in the chat. I don't want that about my chat. Listen. If people are saying stuff about me in other chat and do that, I'm a grown man. I don't really care. For me, I will call out stuff if people are saying stuff about me in mine, and don't. It's not about. Let's just keep this community nice, man. Listen,
keep it civil.
It's a debate. Listen, if you don't know what's being said, then you're welcome to come on and rationalize your debate with me. I have no problems with that. But I don't. If people are going on and talking in other people's streams about me, then do it. As I said, I'm a grown man. I really couldn't care.
Yeah.
Okay. And Elias, I'll give you one more. Okay. Here, it's a bit hard to have a conversation and have to reply to one side of it, trolls and other. Let's do a gentleman. Maybe. Let me see. Let me see. I've got things on at the moment. Maybe one day. But listen, I just don't want people thinking that Mia and I and Steve as well thinking that, oh, we hate Harry Kane because we actually question his ambition. That for me is the main one.
Absolutely
I don't hate.
No hate, man. I think he's an amazing footballer. For me, I sit back and go, why has he not done it? If I took a Spurs hat off, I go, why? He's better than Spurs at the moment, ability-wise. But anyway, guys, massive love to you guys. I'm going to wrap it up. As I said, I've got work to do. Lots of love. Big up to everyone in the chat. And we'll all do it again. I'm probably going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to try and do this every day at 12 o'clock UK, 1 o'clock for me. So we just have a little phone in chat and never chinwag. Steve, Mia, massive thanks. Go subscribe to Mia. Steve, where's your channel? That's the question. That needs to happen at some point.
Yeah, man. It's Strasbourg.
Strasbourg Steve on YouTube. Yeah, it's Strasbourg.
Everyone subscribe to Mia and Steve. And by the way, let me see where I'm at the moment because talking about we haven't actually had any. Let's see how we're doing on the old subscriber front. Come on, 15 away from 700. Massive. If you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, please. I'm 15 away, and much love to everyone. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
If you haven't, go subscribe to me. Go subscribe to Steve. Go and share all the love around the community. Much love. I'll leave you guys to it. Peace out.
Peace out, people.
Peace out.